Yeah, Carl Perkins, Boppin' the Blues, and Elvis, Good Rockin' Tonight. I noticed at the end of that he sings Bop Bop Rhythm and Blues. Were you using the expression rockabilly at the time in 56, 57, or did you not call it that?
Yes, in some parts it was called rockabilly.
And would you actually advertise yourself as that?
No, I just, we didn't, have a title then. It was just, we went by Hank and Bo.
And how did anybody know? If they said, what kind of music did you play? How would you describe it at the time?
We told them country and rock.
Country and rock,
Yeah,
okay, that was
we
what...
didn't,
right.
but it was rockabilly then.
As we now know
Yeah.
it, right.
Mhm.
A listener called Edward has rung up to say that Jungle Rock is the most popular record at London University, and thank you for it.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
And,
yes. Yeah. I have to go to school.
And Diane Lewis calls to say, are you going to be available for any dates? Are you going to tour? What's happening?
Yes, we're starting our tour June 3rd, and it'll be 14 days.
Okay, and the only thing we're sure about is June the 12th at Alexandra Palace. There's going to be a rock and roll spectacular there with Crazy Cabin, Shakin' Stevens, and Hank. And for that, I know you're using flying saucers for the musicians.
Yeah, they're on my tour with
Are they going to do the whole tour?
Yes.
Okay, well that answers a question from Dave Watts, who are you going to be using on the tour?
Yes.
And Janice from Ilford has called to say, what do you think of present-day rock bands?
I prefer what I do and the 50s did.
And how about what Nashville's doing today?
Nashville? No, I don't go for it.
The modern country stuff?
No.
And how about when they do sort of more of the rock and country rock type of things?
No, I either think you ought to get into rock or get into country. I don't like the integrated
Oh, I
thing.
see. Okay, well then you're going to have to sit quiet while we play this thing, because you're not going to like it. Well, that's Delbert McClinton with Victim of Life Circumstances, and Hank and me had a big fight here. He decided
I like that. I'm just joking.
And that was actually recorded in Murfreesboro. Is that how you pronounce it?
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That's my hometown. Yes, I really like that. Yes. yeah, I'm liking it better all the time.
Okay, well that's from his LP on the ABC label. So what are you going to be doing when you go back to America? I mean, are you going to start... You must have given up at some point, I guess, had you? Given up performing or not?
Just in it with my sons. I have 3 sons who are going to be working with me. And just doing it, little things around the house and singing and playing.
There are going to be a lot of people coming into your home, you realize this, to watch you. You got room for them all?
Yeah. We're going to do our first concert in America. Is going to be in my hometown of Murfreesboro. And we were going to do it at the high school, and so many people wanting to see it that we have moved over to the MTSU Mercury Center. Seats about 11,000 people.
Okay, but actually I jumped there, because we took you up to 1961, where I think you're still in Chicago, and you're playing country and rock, rockabilly, whatever. And then what do? You changed over to all country, or what?
1961, I quit. Nothing. I went to work in a paint factory.
But you'd made other records since Jungle Rock in that time, or not?
Yes. During 56 to 61, we had made 2 or 3 other country, on little, localized labels.
Nothing else for King?
Cut one Christmas song for King, which was in an album, and they release it, I suppose. They did release it every year, I don't know about now. Called Little Bill at Christmas, which was a recitation.
Little Billy Christmas?
Little Bill at Christmas. I wrote it about my son, my oldest son, Bill. He was 2 then, he's 17 now. Little Bill at Christmas, and I did a recitation. And it's good. I hope that maybe we'll get it out for this Christmas.
But they put it out over there as a single?
No, it came out on an album with Cowboy Culpus, Jim Eanes, Don Reno and Red Smiley, so forth.
And you were on there, but you had a story about that.
Yeah, when it came out with an album on the front cover, it named everybody, and it says Little Bill at Christmas, Jim Bobo. And I called up Sid Nathan in Cincinnati, and he says, "Oh, that's all right, it's out anyway." So that was it.
You're on there, even if nobody knows.
He says, "You're on the songwriting." I said, "I ought to be, I wrote it."
And in fact, we should clear up this thing, because there's rumors going around here that when Jungle Rock first came out, it came as a bootleg, a pirate edition of it. It came out under the name of Jim Bobo. And here we have this Dutch album on the collector label where it says Jungle Rock by Jim Bobo. They speeded it up too, as if it wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, they speeded it up a little.
But you don't know why that would be, because it was never
No, Echo was Hank Mizzell, and so was King. Yeah.
Weird.
On the back side was Hank and Bo, I think, or Hank Mizzell and Jim Bobo for the slow country song.
Right.
And that was it.
So there was old. I mean, that's twice he's got credited with what you did. What's he
Right.
doing now? You don't know.
I haven't seen him in 12 years.
Okay, well, on the Jungle Rock album is a track which I believe is going to be the next single called Kangaroo Rock. You said you had a story
Yeah,
about it.
that's an interesting story. Now, about that song, I can tell you something. On the second week that we recorded, you know, I did 4 sessions, 2 sessions one week. And the next week, my producer, Royce Clark, and the boy who wrote Easy Money and Singing in the Jungle, James O'Gwen, who is a country singer and writer, they got together and wrote this Kangaroo Rock and went down to the studio and gave me a fast dub of it, you know, and I took it home and I said, I like this. So I came back and I said, I really like it. So we cut it, and that's it. And they're all real happy about it, you know.
And who were the musicians? I mean, who brought them together?
Royce Clark is the producer. So.
I don't know him. Has he produced other things?
Yeah, he works for Shelby Singleton. But he does independent producing too. See, independent producing in Nashville is a big thing now. And so he just calls up, Jimmy Dempsey is the main man, the lead guitar player, so he gets all the group together that knows what's going on for this particular thing.
Okay, well, when we played Ain't That a Thing earlier today, Stu Coleman called in and said that Ain't That a Thing should be the single. We got somebody here saying, what was it you wanted? Higher should be the single, but this is the one the company's actually decided on.
Move to the left and step to the right, then hop. 2 steps up and 2 steps back, then stop.
Okay, well, that's the one that is going to be swinging them around in the discos, the Kangaroo Rock. And there's a question here from Dave Luxton in Cambridge who wants to know, did you know any other of these rockabilly artists in Chicago when you were there? Mickey Hawks, John Hampton, Bobby Deans, Billy Barracks, Everett Carpenter. Any of those names mean anything to you?
Everett Carpenter, yes.
Well, who is he? I've never heard of him.
He did rock, you know, back in then. I don't know. I didn't follow his career and all, but I knew him.
And who else was doing the same sort of things as you? Do you remember any of the names? Because there are people listening to this show. You might think they wouldn't have heard of whoever you're going to say, but they will have done.
You know, it's funny, but really when you're into this business, you don't know anybody else hardly because you're busy doing your own thing. And in Chicago at the time, there were 1,000 clubs over Chicago doing this thing.
Yeah.
And I worked in about 12 of them and then visited another 50. So I met a lot of them, but nobody that I met ever made it.
Yeah.
See?
Funny.
It was just a local thing.
Okay, and through the 60s, what did you do, after
60s, I was a sales manager, drove a truck, worked here and worked there, and just kept playing a little bit at the house, you know.
And writing songs?
Kept writing country, gospel songs.
Right. Okay, well, it's one of the weirdest stories that we ever heard. One of the weirdest you ever heard.
Yes, everybody in the States seems to think the same thing, you know. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I still can't get over it.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of other people who made records, you know, that people dance around to, so it'll be interesting if we have, for the next 10 years, all the heroes that nobody thought they'd ever see are going to come. It'll be amazing.
I hope it happens.
Yeah, because it could be some good music.
Yes.
Well, thanks very much for coming in. It's really nice to meet you.
You're certainly welcome. I appreciate it.
And so June the 3rd, we can look forward to coming back again.
Yes.
And anybody who is interested in booking Hank Mizzell with Flying Saucers should get in touch with Ron O'Shea or the Lee Allen, is that Carousel Agency is booking it? Or the William Morris, I suppose it can be... no, nothing to do with the William Morris. Okay, I shouldn't have mentioned it.